Very good evening and warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, the participants, and everyone else gathered here with us today for this valedictory ceremony of the GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition 2020. I, Karan Arora, will be your host for today. GD Goenka University School of Law had a humble beginnings 7 years ago with limited resources but with great passion. Today, as it stands in its current shape, it has been shaped by the meticulous efforts of many people, and most importantly, the participants who have graced the stage year on year. Opportunities like this virtual moot court reignite a passion and drive among all students, not only those participating, but also those witnessing the contest. It testifies that it is never the environment, it's never the events of our lives, but the meaning we attach to the events, how we interpret them, that shapes who we are today and who we will be tomorrow. What an exhilarating past 2 days it has been, full of energy, intelligent arguments, and overall a rip-roaring mooting exercise. This is not just a battle fought and a battle won. At the end, victory would be theirs who are satisfied with their knowledge and discover the truth. A spirit embodied and demonstrated by all the participants who have joined us today. Also joining us today is an esteemed group of dignitaries. It gives us immense pleasure to have amongst us today Dr. Pawan Duggal, Advocate, Supreme Court of India, founder and owner, Pawan Duggal Associates, Head, Artificial Intelligence Law Hub, Chancellor, Cyber Law University. Also gracing the occasion, we have Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali, Cyber and Privacy Policy Thought Leader, author, speaker, and practicing lawyer. Also, we have Honorable Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, President, GD Goenka University, and Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmad, Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, School of Law, GD Goenka University. I would now like to request our Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmad, Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, School of Law, GD Goenka University, to deliver welcome address. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you, Karan. Let me thank Mr. Sukhu Bhaskaran for finding time, and also he was part of the inaugural function. Now he is in the valedictory function. I thank Sukhu Bhaskaran for his overall support, cooperation, and encouragement to really take the new initiatives in GD Goenka University. He is a great leader, a great academician. Also, he has seen the world. Almost he has seen all the top universities in the world. So it is very great to work under his guidance and leadership, and also try to strive for the excellence. So thank you, Sukhu Bhaskaran, for finding time, and also I welcome you on behalf of the entire Moot Court Association and my entire team. We also welcome Mr. Pawan Duggal, one of the very famous eminent lawyer of the country. In fact, he is in the top 4 in the world in the area of cyber law, cyber security, cyber crime. He's a very busy person, but always he found time for me. In fact, when I invited him, and several occasions he has shown his grace and also his contribution. He is so much in love with the cyber law, cyber security. He is really trying to find the new way for the entire world. So thank you, Duggal, and also I welcome you in the valedictory function. And also we are just eagerly awaiting to listen your thoughts in the area of cyber law. We also welcome Mr. Prashant Mali, one of the very famous eminent lawyer of the Bombay area and Bombay High Court, Supreme Court of India. He do a lot of cyber law consulting, and also he is a very active worker in the area of cyber law, cyber crime, cyber security. So we welcome also Prashant Mali for finding time and also gracing the valedictory function. We are so eagerly waiting to listen your thoughts in the area of cyber law and cyber crime, cyber security. I welcome all the participants, all the teams from all over the country, and also 3 teams were from the foreign country for finding time. And also it is really a matter of great kind of the prestige and honor that you have taken the challenge to work on a very important problem of the cyber law, cyber security, and also patent and privacy. It has a lot of complex issues, the competition law. So in fact, what I see that definitely one team will be the winner, but I see all of your winners, because the moment you have taken the challenge to handle a problem like this in a pandemic situation without any library, you are sitting at your house, and also you are able to showcase the potential. This shows the real spirit of a lawyer, because after so much scarce of the resources, so much problems, and also for the first time you are also going to face the moot court in the online medium, and you did so well. So I think all the members of the participating teams, all the faculty who supported them, all the universities who actually in their teams to participate, I must congratulate and must thank all the universities, all the colleges, faculty advisors, and all the participating teams. A big congrats to all of you. Definitely, you may not be the all of you cannot win, but definitely the kind of experience you got, the learning you got, it will be a lifelong learning for you. I thank also my entire team and also my faculty colleagues, entire university, the processes and the IT team, and also I welcome them in this particular function. They supported a lot, so we are able to really make this virtual international moot court a reality. With these few words, I welcome all of you in this voluntary function, and we hope that we are going to organize so many events for the benefit of the academic world and for academic excellence and legal excellence. With these few words, I thank you all and welcome you once again in the voluntary function. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for formally welcoming our distinguished guests and participants. I would now request our Honorable President, Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, Goenka University, to kindly address the audience. Sir, please.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here addressing this very learned group of people. I congratulate this. I wish to indicate my appreciation to the 17 teams that took upon themselves to participate in this event, and I'm told there are more than 50. There were more than 50 participants. That's a great achievement. I congratulate Professor Tabriz and his team for all the hard work and the successful outcome. And you are right, Pavan, when you say that Tabriz has got a lot of energy. I've now known him close to 3 months, maybe. And I've been quite fascinated by the energy he brings to the fore. He's taking new directions for the school, and we hope to, through his able leadership, hope to take the School of Law to the forefront of legal education in India. There are big challenges there. Of course, we are a young university, perhaps constrained by resource availability, being a private institution, but there is no want of commitment and desire to do that. Tabriz, you were overly generous in your description of me, but I'm really enjoying this engagement in GD Goenka University towards the latter half of my career. I've come to India only for 10 years now, so it's a totally new experience, an ever-changing experience. I came on a sabbatical to IIM Kozhikode, and I came over here later. So to me, India is notwithstanding my good Indian looks, India is a totally new and alien place for me because I was not born here, I was not brought up here. Therefore, every day I'm getting new experiences, and the adjustments are quite substantial, and I'm glad that I've adjusted very well into an organization. I also do not have almost no experience in working in a private institution. This is my first exposure to a private institution. Most of my experience, almost all my other experience has been in large public universities. But this is a fascinating experience. And I see the interplay of culture, the dramatic changes that are happening in the country, and the dramatic changes that are happening in various aspects in the country. In the 10 years I've been, even the place I stay, Golf Course Road, the state and the skyline is changing almost on a daily basis. So you can see the dramatic changes that are happening around the country. And so that's very good. It augurs very well. Most significantly, I'm happy that finally, I see that the government itself has started to focus on bringing about changes in the new economy. The new education policy spells a lot of opportunities for us. And I hope this would take Indian education to the forefront in the world education system. We've got some good institutions, but we got to take a bigger role, play a bigger role in the global education system. And I think that direction is beginning to happen as more people get exposed to what do you mean by standards in academia? How are they measured? How do you compare one university with another, etc.? All these things are being debated, talked about for the last 2-3 years, and finally things are beginning to move. I'm a very happy observer of these changes that are going on. An event such as this, of course, which brings students from different parts of the country to engage with each other and develop knowledge and compete in a scholarly endeavor is a great initiative, and I think we should continue to do that. I thank Justice Dr. Salim Maruf, who was here yesterday. I think he was a fabulous speaker, and of course he comes with fabulous credentials. And I thank Dr. Pawan Dugal and Dr. Prashant Mali also for making their presence here today. You are busy people with outstanding achievements in your fields, and we are happy that you could take time off to come and join us. And most importantly, your presence would be a big motivation to all the students who are participating in this competition, our own faculty and staff members who have worked really hard to put on this show. Best wishes and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. We would also like to take this opportunity to welcome esteemed dignitaries and judges for the event, revered members of the faculty, distinguished alumni, participants of GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition, our dear students of GDGU, and invitees from the print and electronic media. It is an honor and privilege to have you amongst us at this valedictory ceremony of GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition. Now I would like to request Samyak Sharma to display the reflection of the virtual moot court competition.
My screen is visible.
Yes, the screen is visible.
किसको बोल के आई तुम्हें? Thank you, Samyak. It has been wisely said, men of success are dime a dozen, but men of valor comes once in a blue moon. Today, we are proud to have such men and women of honor amongst us, illuminating the gathering with their grace. GD Goenka University has been blessed with the fortune to host an extraordinary congregation of ace legal luminaries comprising of the enlightened legends in the field of legal practice. We all come from various parts of India, different societies, different cultures, and yet one thing that all of us have always known is that guest is God and God needs veneration. We are honored and fortunate to have Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali amongst us. Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali is the only distinguished cybersecurity, cyber law, and cyber expert lawyer in India to have Masters in Computer Science, Masters in Law, and PhD in International Cyber Law and Cyber Warfare with prior working experience in the field of networking and IT security of more than 20 years of all-round IT and law litigation and consulting practice. He is India's top cyber and privacy lawyer with many landmark cases to his credit. He has been awarded as the best cybersecurity lawyer in the year 2017 and with National Cyber Defense Award in 2019. He has been interviewed by leading channels and quotes by leading newspapers across the world. He is a well-applauded international keynote speaker in conferences, seminars, and summits. His philanthropic activity includes donating computers, books to schools, police, general public, and spreading cyber-related awareness in the society. His clients include Forbes 500 companies, India leading private and government organizations, banks, and financial institutions. Celebrities like Ram Gopal Verma, Tiger Shroff, Anurag Kashyap are also his clients. We now wholeheartedly invite Honorable Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali to enlighten us. Sir, please.
How many minutes I've got?
Sir, you have more than 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you, Dr. Tabrez and DD Goenka University for inviting me here. And I'm delighted to speak on this virtual medium to the focused audience specifically, like audience which is focused on the tech aspects of law, the law aspects of technology. Today, my dear friends, cyber law is just not remain one single field. You could have specializations within this field. Like you can do your legal practice in AI, you can do it in robotics, you can do in cryptocurrency, you can do anything, regards to, this autonomous vehicles. So, or e-commerce separately, you can practice in, you can just practice in e-contracts. So there is a huge, big subset of cyber law, which has emerged for budding lawyers to practice. So cyber law becomes a larger umbrella under which it is practiced. When we started practicing, cyber law was one aspect of doing it. So we were forced to do a lot of khichdi and a lot of mixture of things simultaneously. And but now you see, if there's one field isolatedly taken, a lot of things are there to be done. A lot of moot problems can be brought in, like as your university has brought in today to discuss. The market is ever growing for tech law as a category for practicing. If you have the right qualification, and the most important is the right passion. If you see any successful lawyer right now in our country, the one thing what he will always speak is about his passion towards his profession. We cyber lawyers, we have passion towards our law, that is cyber law, and it combines technology and law. It is a golden intersection, we can call, because that has made our career, that has set us apart from the other practicing lawyers. My dear friends, when we are having another law impending, which may get passed in this session, may get passed, that is the PDPA or Personal Data Protection Act, that brings in another venue for budding lawyers to practice, and that is more structured, or that is more it has more things to do, just simply because it has come after there are other data privacy law in the world, and India's is it is called latest. So we are late, so we may have a lot of latest things, or we may claim that we have learned from the world over the mistakes what the world has made, and we have incorporated the best things, so to say. But this is another arena where budding lawyers can practice in the area of privacy, specifically or data protection, as we call it right now. So many arenas are there. Only thinking of going to corporate law firms or only thinking about single practice is not the stage today. You could think about specialization. You can think about very specific practice if you want to practice, or you can think about a specific practice in a corporate world also, because the corporate world has also now awakened, which hire very specific lawyers with specific skill set. It's not no longer that they only hire company law professionals, because if you see this e-commerce companies or tech companies, they need lawyers with tech background or lawyers with technological bend at least, to handle their cases, or it just becomes passing on the briefs to counsels instead of them. If you want to really brief the external counsel also very well, you should know the matter properly. When specifically when I go to high court or the other different high courts, and I see the the counsels from the legal officers from the organizations briefing me to the very specific detail, or other counsels for that matter briefing me to the specific detail. It is the cyber aspect or the tech aspect of this law is now very prevalent. People have started developing interest in it. People start take their planning their career right from 12th onwards. I get a lot of questions. I had to answer this parents and students right from the 12th standard. Like, I want to become a cyber lawyer. What should I do? And they keep planning their career as there are some universities which give combined law degrees. There are some universities from where you can graduate in tech qualification and go for law as a specification. There are some universities offering you cyber law as specific course also. And you can obviously do your research in this area. Our law, it's almost 20 years. The Information Technology Act 2000, even though it got enacted in 2001, so technically around 19 years plus. And it has seen lots of ups and downs, and tremendous amount of research, I can say, is there in research journals across the country, across the world, when it comes to cases around Information Technology Act 2000. Well, it is slowly maturing, even though it's a young law, it's maturing, and it's maturing with real practical cases. So the more and more you keep reading, and the fun part is, you can read about this cyber-related cases even in newspapers. You will not be only legal journals or legal magazines. The amount of cyber crimes or cyber frauds which are happening now gets reported in mainstream, and many a times it is reported in the front page. It gets reported on front page, and it's a big news. The journalists, I sometimes feel pity for them. They don't understand the matter, but yet they make an conscious effort to report it to the general public. So this law is emerging. New relevant cases are coming up across the world. New problems are coming in. So that gives you a greater challenge. So what you solve can become a case law. What you advise to your client can be a milestone advice. And this has been, I'm practicing. I know that many advices which I give turns out, but I never give it as it would turn out to be a milestone, but then when it is implemented, it slowly turns out to be like this. So, thanks to God. And the cases also, because these are new cases, new appeal gets held, and then it becomes slowly becomes a case law. So the chances of writing history with the God's grace to us cyber lawyers is more than the general practicing lawyers. And there's a lot of learning from the earlier practicing. One such learning I also keep getting from our co-judge or co-panelist here, Dr. Pawan Dugal. So we keep learning always from our seniors, and he is one of our seniors, one of the oldest person practicing in this field. I remember once I called him Bhishma Pitamaha of cyber law in one of my first conferences in National Women Commission. So he is, because he's then he started when there was no one, and the first mover's advantage clearly you have, and then there's a lot of learning and a lot of wisdom gathered from that orientation. So there's now a lot of wisdom in this cyber field, in the market, on the cyberspace, and you as a student with this new young university where you're studying, and you the dynamic vice chancellor you have, who himself has doctorate in cyber law, and if you want to make your career in this area, you have the right guide, you have the right leader, so you really can excel in this field. And so best of luck, and congrats on organizing this, and best of luck for the results of your Moot competition. It's important to be in the part of the process, not only look after the result what you get. So participating in a Moot court is learning from the process. God bless you. Thank you.
We are grateful to you, sir, for motivating us with your thought-provoking speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At GD Goenka University, we value our intellectual capital and nurture it through a perfect blend of traditional as well as contemporary ways and means for a comprehensive development of the personality. All the effort in the world won't matter if you are not inspired. Today, in the valedictory function of the GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition, we are fortunate to have Advocate Dr. Pawan Duggal as our guest for the ceremony. Dr. Pawan Duggal is practicing as an advocate, Supreme Court of India, for over 2 decades. Dr. Pawan Duggal has made an immense impact in the unfolding fields of cyber law and laws related to e-commerce. Dr. Pawan Duggal is the founder and chairman of International Commission on Cyber Security Law. He is also the president of cyberlaws.net and has been working in the pioneering area of cyber law, cybersecurity law, and mobile law. While a practicing advocate, Supreme Court of India, Dr. Pawan Duggal has made an immense impact with an international reputation as an expert and authority on cyber law, cybersecurity law, and e-commerce law. Dr. Duggal has been acknowledged as one of the top 4 cyber lawyers around the world. WDD, World Domain Day, recognizes him as one of the top 10 cyber lawyers around the world. Dr. Duggal is the president of Cyber Law Asia, Asia's pioneering organization that is committed to the passing of dynamic cyber laws in the Asian continent. Dr. Duggal is also a member of the WIPO Arbitration and Mediation Central Panel of Neutrals. As an internationally renowned cyber law and cybersecurity subject expert, at the world stage during the high-level policy statement delivered by him at the World Summit on Information Society organized by the International Telecommunications Union, UNESCO, and UNDP in Geneva, Switzerland from 25th May to 29th May 2015. We humbly request Honorable Dr. Pawan Duggal to encourage us with his conviction and dedication to the cause of justice. Kindly address the gathering, sir. Sir, please.
Please unmute. I think you have muted yourself. Please unmute the mic. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhaskaran, Professor Tabrez Ahmed, Dr. Prashant Mali, and distinguished friends who have been part of this wonderful virtual gathering as we talk today. Well, we have been used to so much of these moot court competitions, but with COVID-19 coming in, it's a different ball game altogether. It's asking us to reconsider everything that we can think of. And clearly, one of the things that we can potentially now recognize after a couple of months into the lockdown and post-lockdown is the fact that internet is going to be here to stay for a long, long period of time. So in a scenario like this, we have to quickly start realizing the growing significance and value of cyberspace. As per one estimate, what we would have ought to have achieved in the next 10 years in terms of internet penetration, adoption, and growth is what India has achieved in the last roughly about 4.5 months of COVID-19. Well, COVID-19 is the world's biggest public health emergency, but it has once again propelled the attention of the world to the fabric of internet, which is the ubiquitous network that connects all of us. In fact, we can't even think of today life without the internet. When we are actually talking via video conferencing, or whether we are working from home, or whether we are doing any other activity, internet is a given default. But that was not the position a couple of decades back. Well, internet only started in 1969 as a military experiment in the form of ARPANET. And at that point of time, nobody had any clue of how internet would evolve. When I talk to my old friend, Sir Windsurf, who's the father of the internet, he often tells me that he had not even the slightest of clue of how internet would evolve at the time when they developed the internet. Well, the coming of the World Wide Web completely changed the way we were able to access the internet. But it's thanks primarily to the mobile revolution and the social media revolution, which has completely changed the manner how people have gone ahead and started accessing, visualizing, and even relying on a day-to-day basis on the internet per se. Cyberspace has now emerged as a given default. Earlier, it was only meant for private sector. No wonder governments were slightly slow to understand the significance of cyberspace. But now they've fully understood it, and therefore they're increasingly coming up with new legal frameworks to have more control on cyberspace, to have more control on your activities. So in this context, cyber law assumes massive significance. During the time that we were in lockdowns, and now the opening of the lockdowns, I've seen so many countries coming up with distinctive national legislations on coronavirus, on COVID-19. And under the garb of those legislations, a lot of governments are increasingly, shall I say, centralizing a lot of their powers in their own hands. So as students who are part of this international cyber law virtual moot court, I want to sensitize you that life is changing and will change completely and irreversibly in the next few months. So much so that we will have to now start having a new game plan for our future, because the way we had drawn up our future is something that got evaporated almost instantaneously by coronavirus. Well, I've recently written a book called The New Cyber World Order Post-COVID-19. And in that book, I've specifically argued that by the time we come to the conclusion of the fight against COVID-19 first wave of infections, we would have entered a new cyberspace. It'll be a new cyberspace where cybercrime will be your current default, where cybersecurity breaches will be the new normal, where increasing state power will potentially manifest itself into having an impact upon the enjoyment of digital rights and liberties of people like you and me. And more significantly, we are likely to also see massive migration of people from the superficial net onto the dark net. Now, those are the huge developments that are waiting to happen. And a lot of developments are currently happening under the radar, which we are not able to currently focus on because of our obsession with how to deal with coronavirus. But the fact is, internet is changing, cyberspace is changing. And in this ecosystem, therefore, cyber law will continue to play a far, far more significant role. My brother, Dr. Prashant Mali, who's done such remarkable work, was bang on target when he elaborated the various distinctive directions and thrust areas that you can potentially take in this area of cyber law. From the time when we started where cyber law was just a discipline, today it's emerged as a discipline. There are so many sub-disciplines and you are spoiled for choice. You can pick and choose which section, which area you really want to concentrate. But there's no denying the fact that now cyber law is not just for you as lawyers, it'll have to be a constant companion for everybody who's a digital stakeholder in the digital and electronic ecosystem. Why? Because any and every activity that you do online has got legal ramifications, whether you like it or not. And ignorance of law is no excuse in the eyes of law globally. So you will now have to start looking at things afresh. People are losing their jobs. Employments have gone off. Economies are almost in the state of the ICU. There is so much of economic recession and decline happening. So in this entire ecosystem, I think our approaches will have to change. We will have to go and unlearn what we have learned so far. So as students, what you're currently learning in your law schools is great. But by the time you graduate out and you venture onto this new world, you will have to begin by unlearning and relearning. So unlearn, relearn will have to be a constant mantra in life. Why? Because the ground realities are changing dramatically. And it's time that you will have to start addressing your approaches in this regard. Also, the way how the legal practice, the legal profession is evolving is massive. It was said that the legal profession is the one that's changed the least in the last 200 years. COVID-19 has changed and quashed that perception. In the last 4 months in India, we've seen something that we could not even visualize at the beginning of the year. So many of matters being taken on a virtual courts through video conferencing. And now the Delhi High Court, effective from 2nd of August 2020, has ordered that all matters, not necessarily only urgent matters, but all matters in Delhi will be taken by means of video conferencing till such time the physical hearings resume. So in this ecosystem, you have to be careful about the constant cyber attacks that are happening. Don't expect that you are a law student, nobody will target you. Today, law students are being targeted left, right, and center. Cybersecurity breaches are happening more so after COVID-19 because people have started adopting the work from home without understanding the cybersecurity and related ramifications. For cyber criminals, this is a golden period. In fact, ever since the advent of the internet, there has never yet come such a golden period where cyber criminals are laughing all the way onto the bank because they're attacking at will. They're targeting people through phishing and identity theft and fraud related matters in an ecosystem that the world has not known earlier. Today in the COVID-19 times, it's two major predominant factors that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. One is fear and the other one is panic. And the cyber criminals have weaponized both fear and panic to target people, not necessarily uneducated people, but people like you and me. Because when we are afraid, when we are fearful, when we are panicky, the chances of us not making the right decision is going to be relatively very high. So in this ecosystem, technology is playing a very, very important role. The kind of volumes of transactions that have happened and have gone up on the dark net is only seen to be believed. Well, Bitcoins have reached at unprecedented levels. And Bitcoin has already got its hallowed position as a de facto currency for all kinds of cyber criminal activities on the dark net. So I think it's a fascinating time. A lot of people ask me, should I need to be afraid of the internet? I said, no, you need to be respectful of the indomitable power and the massive significance that internet has. Do not take internet lightly because everything that you do on the internet, everything that you publish or transmit is going to be there for a long, long period of time. And therefore, you have to be mindful of not just the legal consequences of your acts in cyberspace, but also be mindful of the electronic footprints that you're leaving behind as you go forward. The reason for this is very simple. Your potential future employers, your potential future clients are all going to judge you on the basis of what's available online. So in that case, I believe that cyber... I request people to unmute, please.
Yeah, those who are not, please unmute.
Thank you.
Others, please unmute here.
Thanks. So all I can say is this is a fascinating space. Do not be afraid of cyberspace or of the internet, but be mindful of the legal consequences. Also, try to be more flexible in your mindsets. The times are such that you are bound to be expected to be more flexible. Clients are going to expect more flexibility from you, both in terms of your efforts, in terms of your fees, and also in terms of your experience. So I think we will have to start ushering in a new world. But in this new world, cyber law will play such an important role in our day-to-day existence. So in this context, when GD Goenka University School of Law comes up with this international virtual moot court competition, I think it's such a breath of fresh air that it comes across. Yes, moot courts have begun to start happening on cyberspace, but a virtual moot court on cyber legal issues in cyberspace by GD Goenka University, I think is a great movement forward, and it's a precursor of the things that are likely to come. So all of you have done remarkably well. I have had the great fortune of being on the bench along with my co-judges, Dr. Prashant Mali and Professor Dr. Tabraiz Ahmed, both of whom are tall stalwarts in their own capacities. And we have thoroughly enjoyed listening to all your arguments. We don't know what the final decisions are, but one thing is very clear: whatever that you carried forward in terms of experience in this virtual kind of moot court is something that's going to be remaining with you for life. So just keep that in mind. Be mindful of what developments are happening, and a lot of developments are happening at a very rapid pace. Try to just cope up with these developments. Try to understand how you are now going to go into this space. Well, just because COVID-19 has come does not mean that we need to be desperate or we need to be depressed. No, there are new values, new options of opportunities that are beginning to now open up for the legal sector from the cyber legal perspective per se. And I think as far as cyber law as a career is concerned, it's a fabulous kind of stuff that you can potentially look at, because mind you, cyber law is just developing. Today is August 2020. If I was to write a book about cyber law in 2050, and if that book was to be about 100 pages, then in August 2020, we're only on the 8th or the 9th page. That means the remaining 90 plus pages have yet to be written in the next 3 decades. That can just give you an idea of what kind of new developments are likely to take place. I would like to really compliment all of you for your wonderful efforts. As Dr. Tabraiz said, you were sitting at home, you did not have access to libraries, resources, but yet you all came out in flying colors. The way you were able to interpret the proposition, which is very, very complicated and had so many of traps that were laid for you. You were able to go and maneuver around the various landmines that were deliberately kept into the cyber legal moot court is just a testimony of your resilience, of your capabilities to start understanding and analyzing the practical nuances of various issues in cyberspace. I would like to compliment all of you. Wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors, and we'll be happy to be in touch. And in case any of you are really interested in working more in cyber law, we're doing some cutting edge work on artificial intelligence law at the Artificial Intelligence Law Hub, or also at the International Commission on Cybersecurity Law. So rather than doing practical, just academic content, it'll be great if you can also do some practical orientation in the form of appropriate internship, because that's going to open up the world of new opportunities for you. So the onus is all on you. It's a fascinating time. Well, these are difficult, challenging times, but I think these are times of great opportunity. Please cling on to whatever new opportunities you can get, and continue to be in touch. Wishing you all the very best, and thanks once again to GD Goenka University for its School of Law, for its thought leadership in coming up with such a remarkable international virtual moot court competition, and also for inspiring all of you. The very fact that you had 17 teams in these times who are specifically focusing on these cyber legal issues is a remarkable testimony to the interest that people have in this space, and how cyber law continues to be more and more relevant in your and our lives as time passes by. Wishing you all the best, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you for that truly encouraging speech, sir. Thank you. Great moments are born out of great opportunities, and that's what this team's here today. That's what they have earned here today. there are some defeats that are more victorious than victories, as it is not the will to win, but the will to prepare to win that makes the difference. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, there is nothing more courageous than a victory over yourself. With those words, we arrive at the moment which every participant of GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition 2020 has been eagerly waiting for. It's time for the declaration of results. I would now like to request Mr. Abhinav Kumar, Assistant Professor, Moot Court Committee, to announce the results.
Thank you, Karan, for the opportunity.
Please.
Thank you, Karan. A very good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone present here. I would take this opportunity to thank our very esteemed and distinguished dignitaries, Dr. Pawan and Dr. Prashant sir, for gracing this occasion with their esteemed presence. We know that it had been a challenging situation, and yet we came up with quite a successful competition, all thanks to a very able leadership by our Professor Dean, Dr. Tabrez Ahmed ji. So now coming to the results, which is the mainstay and the main focus of our entire two-day event, we saw a very healthy competition between these two teams, and I would like to congratulate them for bringing laurels and being an excellent sport throughout these 2 days of the competition. Now this time we have many interesting prizes as well, both in cash and in kind. Especially I would like to congratulate and thank Legit Quest and My Lawman specifically for bringing us and supporting us through all kinds and through all ways by which we could bring lots and lots of excitement in the participation of various teams from across the globe. So now coming to the result, before that I would like to tell that whatever the things that Legit Quest and My Lawman and other sponsors that are offering would be briefed by my co-fellow Mr. Shreyas Vyas. But now coming to the result, the very first thing I would be starting with the best speaker male, and the best speaker male goes to Mr. Ashutosh Pandey from Mr. Ashutosh Pandey from National Law College, Nepal. He gets a cash prize of rupees 5,000. Congratulations, Ashutosh. Moving up to the next is best speaker female, and it goes to Rashika Kapoor from Amity Law School, IP, Delhi. So congratulations, Rashika, for winning the best speaker female. Coming to the next set of awards, the next set of award is the best memorial. So the best memorial goes to National Law College, Nepal, GDGU V06. Congratulations, the team of Nepal. Yet again, you have been really brilliant throughout this entire competition with your arguments, with your moot prepositions and your speaking skills. I would like to congratulate the team. And now finally coming to the winners, because ultimately we all know that the problem in hand, the various challenges that we face, but ultimately we have one winner, although I believe both are the winners in their own strict sense. So the winners of the first international virtual moot court competition is Team 1-4 Amity Law School, Delhi. Congratulations to the winners. The runners-up are National Law College, Nepal. Heartiest congratulations from GD Goenka University. Congratulations, everyone. Over to you, Karan.
Thank you, sir. Sir Winston Churchill has rightfully said, success is not final, failure is not deadly. It is ultimately the courage to continue that counts. We are sure that it has been an exhilarating experience for all the participants, and they go back more experienced than what they came here with. I would now like to request Mr. Shreyas Vyas, Assistant Professor, Faculty Advisor, Moot Court Committee, to propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Karan. Vote of thanks is not the end. It's a moment of saying thank you to the people who guided, motivated, supported, and worked hard for the event. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on behalf of GT Goenka University, administration, committees both at faculty and student level. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Pavan Dugal, Advocate Supreme Court of India, founder Pavan Dugal and Associates, Chancellor Cyber Law University for gracing the occasion. I also extend my devotedly thank to Dr. Prashant Mali, cyber law and privacy policy expert, leader, speaker, and practicing lawyer. I also thank both of you for taking out time from your busy schedule and judging our final rounds and gracing our valedictory ceremony. I thank you for encouraging our students and participants. I hope this will help them in long run of their life and will help them to become an ethical legal professional. Then I would like to thank all the judges of different rounds for sparing time from their busy schedule and come to judge our different rounds. I hope that your suggestions and teachings will help our participants in their future professional life. Then I would like to thank our MD, Mr. Nupin Goenka, sir, for encouraging us for this event, as he strongly believes that law without practical knowledge is of not much use. So students should possess practical knowledge. So events like these encourage students and faculties to learn something of the new and new aspects of life. Thank you for your support. Then I would like to thank our President, Sir, Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, for gracing the occasion and supporting us with all necessary support and suggestion from his side. Then I would like to thank our Registrar, Dr. Dirhendra Pariyar, Sir, for extending all possible administrative support from his side. The entire credit goes for this event goes to our Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Law, Dr. Tabriz Ahmed, Sir. So that I thank you to help us in giving new dimension for the Moot organizing, that is virtual Moot. So I thank you, sir, for your all support, guidance, which you gave throughout this event. Thank you thank you for introducing and letting us learn a new Moot organizing 2.2. It was a learning experience, sir, for every one of us. Then I would like to thank our partner of the event like Legit Quest, who has given Legit Quest subscription worth of 45,000 to both the winners and runner-up, which turns up to 90,000 in total. Then my lawman, who has offered 100% scholarship to the winning teams of My Lawman International Winter School, valued at 27,000. Free gift vouchers worth of 21,000 for My Lawman service, which will be distributed among winners, runner-up, best mooter, best researcher, best memorial. And they will be also inviting all the winners of this experience about this Moot. An internship opportunity also will be given to them at their research center. Legal Rhythm, who has offered winners 50% concession fee upon publication of their work on August edition of Journal of all of their August subscription. Then all the media partners who have promoted our event on their websites and newsletter. I thank all the media partners, from media people from print and electronic, for their wide coverage of our event. Then I would like to thank our IT support, Mr. Mohit, because of whom this event was not able to broadcast it. Then I would like to thank our designer, Ms. Paramjit Kaur, for designing such beautiful posters for our event. Then I would like to thank my colleague, Mr. Pankaj and Mr. Abhinav of Core Committee, my fellow colleagues from School of Law, who had shared all the responsibilities and help us sailing this competition. Then I would like to thank our students under the leadership of Ms. Vishali Punawala and Mr. Samyak, who have worked day and night to make this event success. Thank you, Karan, for putting such magnificent presentation. I'm sure we have certain standards in organizing a virtual Moot. I thank you all the participants from India and abroad for putting in efforts. Winning and losing is a different part, but participation is necessary. I'm sure this event will help you in putting efforts, for making learn many new aspects of life, and which you will carry throughout your life. Thank you all for your gracious presence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, we reach to the end of the valedictory function.
Thank you, Palan. Thank you very much.
Thank
Pleasure
you,
meeting
Dr.
you. I hope
Once again, Dr. Subhaskaran, Dr. Pawan Tuggal, Prashant Mali, and my entire team for making a grand success, and all the participants from India and foreign countries. We look forward to have regular engagements and also to have some more activities, maybe virtual or maybe online.